Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Naya. Sim or Naya, thank you so much for the support. Hope you all are doing great. So I came across this video where uh, the GOP congressman was talking about how they should forget free school lunches for the kids, that they should go get job, that he worked probably in McDonald's or he was a paper boy while growing up, that, to his own, to his thinking. He is saying that they are making the kids lazy, that the kids should rather go get summer jobs or get job at McDonald's and other places, all right, instead of coming to school and expecting lunch. And I think this is just a very silly mentality because these people are too quick to tell you how they got job or how he was a paper boy and all that, forgetting that all hands are not equal, right? What would it take or what will it cost for the government to give free lunch to the children when these same people are the people that are very willing to send billions of dollars, arms, and the rest of it to countries that are not even begging them? So why is it that the same tax dollars of the people that were like, you are the one paying for the tax, right? And your kids should be entitled to all the good things that come with that tax. But no, they would rather send it to other people than putting it in their own community. That is also one of the reasons why each time I look out and I am like, why is it that the countries you all are taking money to, they have universal basic health care, but you all do not have? You know what? Let's get into this video.
Right now with this freeze, vulnerable populations could be directly impacted. And so my question to you, just to follow up with you, would you support getting rid of, school lunch for vulnerable kids and breakfast and Head Start, for example, and getting rid of childhood cancer research? Do you support that? And what do you say to your constituents? I want to follow up on that question too, because I didn't hear an answer from you.
When you talk about school lunches, hey, I worked my way through high school. I don't know about you, but I worked since I was, before I was even 13 years old. I was picking berries in the fields before we had child labor laws that precluded that. I was a paper boy. And when I was in high school, I worked my entire way through. You're telling me that kids who stay at home instead of going to work at Burger King, McDonald's during the summer, should stay at home and get their free lunch instead of going to work? I think we need to have a top-down review.
I think you're painting a
think
lot
about
of these
where
kids
kids
with a
need to
broad
actually
brush.
be.
I would say that's not necessarily a fair assessment of all of the kids. So you would say all the kids in your district who use the free lunch, for example, or breakfast, they're all just sitting at home and not working. Okay, I just want to clarify because that seems like what you were trying to insinuate.
This gives us a chance. This gives us a chance, though, to see where is the money really being spent. Who can actually go and actually produce their own income? Who can actually go out there and do something that makes them have value and work skills for the future? I mean, how many people got their start in fast food restaurants when they were kids versus just giving a blanket rule that gives all kids lunches in high school who are capable of going out and actually getting a job and doing something that makes them have value, thinking about their future instead of thinking about how they're going to sponge off the government when they don't need to.
But a lot of these kids aren't even of like working age. They're young kids, and as you well know, and also some of the kids at Head Start, they're like 5 and under. Would you support getting rid of, school lunch for vulnerable kids and breakfast and Head Start, for example, and getting rid of childhood cancer research? 15
years old, I was picking berries in the field before we had child labor laws that precluded that. I was a paper boy. And when I was in high school, I worked my entire way through. How many people got their start in fast food restaurants when they were kids versus just giving a blanket rule that gives all kids lunches in high school who are capable of going out and actually getting a job and doing something that makes them have value, thinking about their future instead of thinking about how they're going to sponge off the government when they don't need to.
You can't be fucking serious. The person in that clip is Representative Rich McCormick. Rich McCormick went to Central Catholic High School in Portland, Oregon, which is a private Catholic college prep high school that's now charging $17,985 for tuition this year. Along with charging 18 bands damn near in tuition, that school is 65% white. Remember I said it's in Portland, Oregon, which means that it's surrounded by plenty of places to work, plenty of job opportunity. In fact, this is supreme positioning because if you cross the river right here, this is downtown Portland. But why does any of this matter? Because the Trump White House just froze government funding to fucking every program. And this motherfucker, of all people, who wouldn't have even been touched by such government freeze considering you went to a private fucking high school, is coming out and shilling and defending the government freeze because everyone who is gonna not get free lunch needs to just, go to work. When at minimum, you could work through high school and afford your tuition because tuition costs have exploded, or you didn't have to worry a damn about that because your family could afford the tuition. Meanwhile, if you look at the sprawling green nothingness that was my high school district, you can see just how much job opportunity is awaiting you. High schools like mine that were majority black. High schools like mine where many kids there were facing food insecurity. In fact, motherfucker, nearly 1 in 5 children in America live in households without consistent access to adequate food. In other words, children that you didn't fucking grow up with going to your majority white private high school are the ones going to be feeling the brunt of this. And you have the audacity to say, oh, these children should just go to work. I live with a nigga who went to work throughout high school way earlier than he should have had to. And even if that was a fucking adequate solution, I suppose you propose that they just work in the middle of the fucking school day. What do they eat before they have to leave school and go to work? We know that children who receive on-site meals and snacks provided by their childcare center had higher chances of being food secure, were more likely to be in good health, and had lower odds of being admitted to a hospital from an emergency department. We know free school lunch improves math scores, especially in elementary years and Hispanic communities, and significantly reduces suspension. And they also have a positive effect on English language arts scores. And we know that these lunches do not cause any increase in student weight or BMI. We spend money on war. We deliberately take in less money every year every time the Republicans do a tax break for motherfuckers who don't need the money. We spend money on policing. All of this shit. And a Republican will look you dead in the face and say the real budgetary problem is your child eating fucking lunch at school. This is the consequence of any vote for the Republican Party. This is the consequence of giving the keys of power to motherfuckers like this. Someone who at his grown ass age should know that society is a lot more complex and that people can't just get up as children, nor should they just get up as children and work. But because they don't give a fuck about anything besides enriching themselves and their rich friends, they will take the food out of children's mouths and justify it to you before they dare realize that, we should care for these children. But best believe they will lie to you and tell you that they're the ones who care for the children. They're the ones who want to protect the kids. You know how we're gonna do that? By making sure they never see a trans person. Meanwhile, this motherfucker has never even seen the very black people that they're taking lunch from. These people do not care about you. They don't fucking like you. And if given the opportunity, they will trade your life in a heartbeat for a dollar bill. And if shit like this doesn't show that to you, I'm convinced nothing will.
Where is the money really being spent? Who can actually go and actually produce their own income?
Fantastic idea, Congressman. So let's stop all tax subsidies to billionaires and corporations. No more eating off of the government trough for these lazy corporate welfare queens. Let's do it. Let's do it, baby. Let's do it. They're done. No more tax subsidies to oil companies, pharmaceutical companies, colleges, none of that. None of that. No more tax breaks. None. Pay your fair share. Why should I have to subsidize some lazy ass billionaire getting a chance to go to Malta? Nah. If you can produce your own money, you don't need the government's. None. None at all. Not a dime. Not a dime. Zip. All corporate welfare should end. Time now. Time now. You said it right there. You said it right there. I know you were talking about school lunches and parents and kids, but nah, I want you to stand by those words. All corporate welfare should end immediately. Immediately. Kick the defense contractors out of the Department of Defense today. They are feeding off of the trough that is the federal government. Get them the hell up out of there. Done. No more tax breaks. No more. If you make over $1 billion in profit, bitch, you should get taxed. Sorry. Oh, I can't buy that other yacht with the other yacht in it. I can't buy the big fancy mansion, which will be my winter home. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. You want to talk about welfare? You want to talk about leeching off the government? Then let's do it, baby. Let's do it. Let's start with those leeches that are corporate interest. No more lobbying. Get out of Washington, D.C. All of them. All of them. Every defense contractor gotta go. Got to go. If the government's not going to buy it, you ain't going to sell it here. All that corporate tax money that goes to oil companies, got to go. Done. Cut. Right there. No more tax breaks for anybody in the millionaire and billionaire class. If you have over $100 million in the bank, you are not getting another tax cut from us. Pay your fair share. Companies like GE and Disney, pay your fair share. No more tax loopholes. You want to simplify it? Here's a simple solution. All tax loopholes for corporations done. Done. You will pay capital gains tax. You will pay an estate tax. Sorry. Don't care. If you were looking for the leeches, Congressman, then let's find them real leeches. We got a bunch of fat cats still over here eating off of the federal government, but you over here worried about kids' school lunches? Nah, son. Nah. If you really want to cut government spending, no more tax breaks or tax subsidies to large corporations. Tesla, no more tax cuts. Amazon, no more tax cuts. Walmart, no more tax cuts. None. No more tax subsidies. If Walmart cannot afford to pay a living wage, then Walmart shouldn't exist. No more none of that. Y'all had enough money to donate to President Trump's inauguration? Nah. Cut it. All government contracts to large corporations are cut today. It's on a case-by-case basis. Do we need it? Yeah, then pay for it. And pay for it for 5 years, and that's it. Do we need it? No, we've got 1,000 of those. Good. Bye. See ya. Go on, you corporate welfare slob. Get out of here, you person. You want to go there? Let's go there. Let's go there. Let's go. Let's hit it, baby. No more tax subsidies. None. We pay tax subsidies to airlines, and we're basically living in a little bit of cubicle to fly. And every time we got to bail them out, nah. One more bailout, we nationalizing the airlines, all of them. Oh, you obviously can't do your job, so we gonna run it. One more bailout of the banks, we nationalizing them, all of them. All of them. Every one of them. And if you are an oil company, a pharmaceutical company that depends on government assistance, and that's what it is, welfare, you're done. You're done. The people of America are not getting the benefit from us giving you tax subsidies. So guess what? Pay to play, baby. Pay to play. You will not get another dime from the federal government. If you really looking for welfare, Congressman, let's see if y'all want to back that one up.
I just watched an interview with a congressman, and they were talking about the federal freeze and what that means for funds, particularly for programs like Head Start in schools that provide free and reduced lunch. And his response was that these stay-at-home kids should be working, and that he picked blueberries, and that people get jobs at fast food restaurants, and that should be why they wouldn't need free or reduced lunch. Now, the question becomes, kids at Head Start can't work. Elementary school kids can't go work to pull themselves up by their bootstraps to help pay for meals in their schools. So tell me your thoughts on the federal freeze and what you think of a congressperson that we have saying that these quote unquote stay-at-home kids should get jobs, and that would reduce the need for these free federal lunch programs.
Congressman, you're saying children don't deserve free lunch at school? No, these freeloading kindergartners, first graders, second graders, third graders, and fourth graders, they really need to start pulling their weight. When I was a kid, I worked. I picked strawberries until child labor laws came in. What good did that do? It didn't help the little girl who was working next to me in the factory and got her hair pulled out by a machine. You're saying that kids should work for their lunch in between studying and we want to build the smartest minds in the universe. Shouldn't food and the availability of food and the ability to get that food not be a concern for them at all? So you're missing the point here. What we need to do is we need to take away all of the things that have made it easier for children to learn and make it hard. And then we'll see who rises above it. If we cut them all off, whoever doesn't rise above it, we know we should have helped them, so we'll pay for their funeral costs since they won't be able to eat. But for some students, free lunch, free breakfast, that may be the only hot meal that's nutritious that they have all day long. So that is not true. That is a lie. They can swallow their saliva. They can take deep breaths of air. They can drink water when they feel hungry, and that will give them the feeling of being full. There are all these alternatives out here, and you guys are just not willing to accept them. Have you not considered that kids are just too much work to handle, and maybe they should start pulling their own weight? What's the plan here? All that has to happen is the kids need to work 24/7. So we send them to school, they learn whatever they can learn, and then from, I'd say about 1 p.m. to 1 a.m., we have them in a factory. The kids are now under a supervision of a manager. That way they can't be out in the streets causing all these problems, and they learn the value of $1. And then when they get paid from their minimum wage job, which is not enough to cover school lunch, we'll get them to work a second job, and then they'll understand how the economy works. Just give them lunch. What do you think this is? A communist country? We don't want our children to be able to think fully while they're in school. That could really annoy the teachers. And the teachers, we want them to be relaxed so they understand why we don't want to pay them more. So it's all a trickle down, and you're not getting it.
You Trump supporters are a new level of shitty and fucking delusional. If you think you regretting shit now means something. Have y'all seen that viral post with all these Trump supporters, thousands of them, talking about how they realized that they messed up after Elon did the salute? Are you fucking kidding me? How many people do you think in fucking Germany regretted things as things got better? As people's families were ripped apart and people were sent to fucking gas chambers, how many people were like, damn, maybe I fucked up? Do you really think that your shitty fucking emotions, you feeling sad right now, means fucking anything? Your vote, your decisions, your activism led to the deaths of people and will continue to do so, and you want us to give a fuck that you feel bad? Are you fucking kidding me? Let me show you how bad you could fucking feel. Meet me in fucking person. I'm so fucking tired of you privileged pieces of shit thinking that your fucking feelings mean anything. Fuck all of y'all. Are you fucking kidding me? Did you see that there's a teacher that just reported his high school students because they only speak Spanish and he said to come deport them? Are you fucking kidding me? Guess who else did that? The people in Germany to try to get favor from Mustache Man. It started with people reporting their neighbors and ruining families. And you feel fucking bad. Fuck you!
This is all I got from this video. And, the news coming out day by day, the executive orders they are giving, and everything is just going haywire. And sincerely speaking, I do not think that giving food to kids at school is a big deal for the government. Hear me out. Hear me out. Because I really do not know how much the kids are. I mean, there will never be enough. There will definitely be much, much, much more or enough money to give food to the kids instead of moving around. Well, going around giving money, giving billions of dollars to countries that are not even asking or begging for it, or sending arms to countries that do not need it. So what are you doing for the kids? What are you doing for your citizens? I'm sorry to say this. I don't want it to look like maybe I do not have opinion, or maybe I am not American. I am not supposed to say some certain things, or but looking at the things going on, The same country that is very quick to give money to Israel and other countries that have universal basic health care. And in their own country, they do not have that. I mean, don't they feel somehow that we are helping people that are even better off? I am not saying that but they fix something for their own citizens. Well, how come people's tax dollar is going to where it shouldn't be going? It should actually be where their kids are. That is also feeding them in school. And from the research I was making, I also saw people saying that as a child that she starved and ate one meal a day or something, and it always make her sick. And to hear that, the government is also about to cut feeding at school. I think that the kids deserves food. There are some things you do not deny people. Number one is water, because water doesn't cost you anything. No matter where I come from, no matter the kind of, even if it's spring water or the most expensive water, as long as you have it, that is the least you can do for somebody, giving the person water and giving the person food if you have food. People should never, deny people food. All these things are things that shouldn't cost a lot to do for people. And it shouldn't cost the government, or the government shouldn't be so much worried about see, the reality is that feeding all these kids and the rest of them even keeps them motivated to come to school, to learn, and also to, I don't know, but it's, I think some people are just you know what I am saying. It's really sad. It's sad that all these are going on and people are not speaking up, except very few. But the ones they will still say it's black people are always the ones coming out to talk, because they know if it affects them, it's going to affect others. I do not wake up to see other people coming out to do the necessary or being the first people to talk about some certain things. But yeah, this is the vote or the thing you all voted for. And the worst part is the people that did not also vote for him, we still experience this. It is what it is. Shout out to JJ. Thank you so much, JJ, for always bringing the very best. He is so brilliant. For those that are new on this channel, and if you do not know JJ, JJ is very brilliant. He's a very smart young man. Please go follow him, and you will never regret it. I appreciate him, and I love seeing his videos. And I think the government should do better. See you all in my next video. Bye for now.